There's an episode of 30 Rock where Tracy Morgan's character leads a protest of idiots, quote unquote, to fight for the rights of people who are not smart in the brain area. It is a funny episode, but what really put it over the edge to frickin' hilarious is the performance of Denise Richards. Of course, she plays herself in the guest appearance and shows the world that she has an absolutely wonderful sense of humor about her public image, which I think can be summed up with this clip right here.
And idiots can do anything we put our minds to. I played a nuclear psychiatrist in a James Bond movie.
See? She's beautiful and hilarious. But lately, it does feel like we haven't seen as much of her since those late 90s, which were full of wild things.
Hi, Mr. Lombardo.
Denise Richards is an actress whose time in the spotlight seems to have passed, but like many pretty faces before her, somehow Miss Richards has proved to be more than just a pretty face by helping to bring to life some very interesting films and some fun TV series. Denise Richards had to fight hard to keep her first major role in Starship Troopers, fearing that she would be canned at any moment. But she wasn't, and she actually went on to make it in the land of Hollywood land.
Well, maybe I'll see you at the Academy.
Yeah, who knows?
And as she did with her first major role, Richards has fought hard to hang on and take control of who she would be and what she would be depicted as in the media. So let's find out what the f*** happened to Denise Richards.
Is this my mark? Hi.
But to truly understand what the f*** happened to Denise Richards, we must begin at the beginning, and the beginning began when she was born on her birthday, 1971, Illinois. This might be a shock to everyone, but Denise Richards was voted best looking girl in her high school, which naturally transitioned her into a modeling career after graduation. She was an instant hit, bouncing around the globe for shoots and landing major promotions and magazine covers. She was like in all of those magazines that I don't read, with small but memorable bits on TV shows like Married with Children, Erie, Indiana, and 90210. Richards made enough of an impression to get her first role in a movie called Loaded Weapon 1, which is an absolutely hilarious satire parody of the action genre. The next year, she landed a starring role in Tammy and the T-Rex. Yeah, and in it she totally wants to be romantically involved with a dinosaur. Well, not just any dinosaur, a dinosaur robot. Well, not just any dinosaur robot, a dinosaur robot played by Paul Walker. And yeah, Tammy and the T-Rex, it's just frickin' ridiculous to the point of genius. Watch it now, before you go extinct. This would lead to a 3-episode run on Melrose Place in 1996, and she would appear in something called Nowhere. But then, master filmmaker Paul Verhoeven cast her in Starship Troopers, her first major starring role.
You don't look very happy to see me.
She is endlessly charming, charismatic, and kind of a badass in this flick, showing that she can mix comedy and action. And her casting is frickin' perfect because, you know, this movie is also a satire of war propaganda and fascism and such. So they needed these, like, perfect-looking people to get the message across. It's perfect casting, y'all. I don't care what you say.
I know that's not what you wanted to hear.
And for it, she won the Blockbuster Entertainment Award for Favorite Female Newcomer. Denise Richards was now a marquee name, co-headlining the deeply webbed erotic thriller Wild Things in 1998.
Can I play too? Or is it just for boys?
She and the movie are diabolically delicious with a surprisingly effective performance. Richards lived up to her reputation with 1999's underrated comedy Drop Dead Gorgeous. Once again, this is perfect Denise Richards casting, playing a beauty queen who gets quite an elaborate death scene.
Oh, great.
And yeah, her pretty face mixed with her sense of humor, it is perfect for the tone of this film, drop dead gorgeous. And that same year, Denise Richards would officially become a Bond girl. One of the girls who bonds with Bond.
Are you here for a reason? Or are you just hoping for a glimmer?
In the movie, The World Is Not Enough, playing the clumsily named Christmas Jones. It's like the best and the worst Bond girl name ever. And despite having it all to play a Bond girl, this film and Denise Richards flopped. Cause for some reason, the audience could not take her seriously as a nuclear psychiatrist. I mean, psychologist. Physicist. That's the word, right?
Doesn't exactly take a degree in nuclear physics.
And with it came a Razzie win for Worst Supporting Actress. And yeah, she was the worst. But I'm sure you couldn't do better.
Who are you?
2001 saw a shift in Denise Richards' career, all thanks to her failed Bond attempt, taking the lead in the kinda lame slasher flick Valentine. There's a killer and it's Valentine's Day. You get it. That same year saw a film called Good Advice, where she took the bad advice of falling in love with Charlie Sheen, who she would appear alongside in an arc in Spin City, and would marry the next year and live happily ever after until they didn't.
I mean, I think what I did was probably the best thing for both of us.
A surefire sign that a former talent has cooled down, oddly enough, is landing too many movies. It kind of shows that you, need to work. The year 2002 alone saw 4 Denise Richards movies. A gangster flick called Empire, 2 brainless romantic comedies, The Third Wheel, and You Stupid Love. But then there was Undercover Brother, which she's incredibly fetching as a white she-devil assassin. And yeah, this Undercover Brother character, it's actually the type of role that she really excels in. She got the joke. Not that Undercover Brother is a good movie, but I wish she did more movies like this.
Solid.
5 years prior, she could have had a juicier role in Love Actually, but now because her star had fallen a wee bit, she had been regulated to a wee bit part in one of the many subplots of this really good romantic comedy Christmas movie. Although it is more dignified than her Scary Movie 3 cameo. Yikes.
Oh, sure. That you understand.
And she also had a 3-episode run on 2.5 Men, which was the biggest show at that time and featured her husband, Charlie Sheen. And yeah, by this time, Richards was unfortunately thought of more as just Charlie Sheen's wife than, Denise Richards, which is unfortunately unfortunate. 2004 saw a movie called Whore and something called Elvis Has Left the Building. But more importantly to her key demographic was a nude pictorial in that magazine called Playboy, showing that she would be sexy on her own terms. And this is something she would continue to build on. The idea of Denise Richards is Denise Richards, and that she'll be a gosh darn superstar and do whatever she has to do to stay in the discussion. Well, most everything she has to do to stay in the discussion. But you know what? For all of that, Denise Richards wasn't shallow. Not ever. She actually used her looks and her power and her fame for good, supporting many charities for various causes, like adoption, hunger, AIDS, cancer, all of those horrible things. She fixed all of them.
'Cause she could solve world hunger with one of her blue ribbon rhubarb pies.
Then, finally, Denise Richards filed for divorce. alleging that Charlie Sheen made death threats against her and did a bunch of other Charlie Sheen things. And by the next year, the divorce was finalized. Denise Richards won full custody of their daughters. This power move, I guess, impressed UPN, who developed a soap called Sex, Love, and Secrets just for Denise Richards. And despite losing luster as a main draw, this showed that she still had an inkling of spark. Moxie, I guess is what they call it. The year 2008 brought Blonde and Blonder opposite Pamela Anderson, and a supporting turn in Jolene. But more importantly to her continuing in the D-list limelight, or C-list, I don't know, she got her own reality show. Bum bum bum! It doesn't get any bigger than that, I guess. It was called Denise Richards, It's Complicated. Which actually wasn't that complicated at all. It was just like another tabloid-esque reality show. Nothing special. I mean, not that Denise Richards isn't special.
Don't change the subject.
In the year 2009, had Finding Bliss and Deep in the Valley, playing a character named Bliss in both movies, showing her true range. Sorry.
Fuck off.
That same year, she signed up for the Has-Been showcase Dancing with the Stars, being eliminated second. The early part of the 2010s had a mix of hits and misses, like the sitcom Blue Mountain State, which started as a recurring role, but she was so good that it turned into a starring role, so good for her. There was also DTV Cougars Incorporated, and her first memoir, The Real Girl Next Door. Then somehow she worked herself into Medea's Witness Protection, the Tyler Perry movie, and surprisingly got a guest spot on Charlie Sheen's replacement sitcom, Anger Management, which tried to make his unhinged, dangerous, tiger blood winning behavior amusing.
Billy O'Sheen, Mama Dad Me, Billy Mama Me.
At best, it at least showed her and Sheen were on decent terms, somehow. At least enough decent terms to get a big TV paycheck. But yeah, as you know, Charlie Sheen, he kept spiraling down, and by the next year, Denise Richards was trusted with temporary custody of Sheen's sons, the ones he had with Brooke Mueller. That just shows how good and caring of a person Denise Richards really is. When Charlie Sheen's children needed her, the Charlie Sheen children that weren't hers, when they needed help, she stepped up and did the right thing. So way to go, Denise. You know what, Denise? You are the one that's winning.
You got nerves of steel.
Yeah, you do.
She would then do a little bit more TV, like ABC Family's Twisted and Vanity in 2015. She would also mingle with some fellow has-beens like William Baldwin and Tom Arnold in a Christmas movie called Christmas Trade. Richards went on to appear in roles both leading and small in various genres, from drama to comedy to horror to musical, all with titles that don't really register. You know, movies I've never heard of, and these are the movies that she was in. A Life Lived, American Violence, American Satan, A Violent Man, Saturday at the Starlight, The Toy Box, Destined to Ride, The Prayer Box, Firstborn, Adventures of Dally and Spanky, and
My Adventures with Santa.
We could go on, but I will just note right here that she starred in 5 movies in 2020. And like I said, starring in 5 movies sounds good, but it's actually kind of a sign that you're a little desperate and need work. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just saying. Those are just the rumors. Ah! Denise Richards also appeared on the 9th and 10th seasons of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, which is a reality show, right? Like it's real, right? Is it? She earned praise for being down to earth, something nobody has ever denied her of. From there, she played a single mother on the soap opera The Bold and the Beautiful. a role that lasted until 2022. Recently, this former Bond girl has been outspoken about how she doesn't think that James Bond should be recast as a female, which, like, apparently, according to social media comments, is the most hateful opinion anyone could ever have. Ah!
Please, God, get a life.
Apparently, I'm just saying, that's what I read on the social media. But yeah, Denise Richards, she's sticking to her guns and says that James Bond should be a man. Oh my god. Such a controversial opinion.
Why would you say something so controversial yet so brave?
That was news. That actually made the news. Her actually saying that and thinking that. That's newsworthy nowadays.
Are you jealous?
There's something to admire about Denise Richards. Sure, she's not the Richards of Wild Things or Starship Troopers, but you know what? Neither are you. And you know what? She has maintained a distinct quality that really not too many former sex symbols have: adapting. She knows as well as the boys who had her posters on their walls that she is not where she was 20 years ago. But you know what? Neither are you, and neither are you, and neither are you. Neither are any of us. But she's still friggin' beautiful, oh my gosh.
You know what? The rumors are true.
But yeah, Denise Richards is who Denise Richards wants to be. Whatever that means. She's confident, beautiful, caring, consistent, and has a wonderful sense of humor. And yes, she may never be a box office draw again, but who knows, anything can happen in the land of Hollywood land. But you can still count on all of those qualities to this day. I will say them again. Confident, beautiful, caring, consistent, and has a wonderful sense of humor. And she's talented too. So yeah, nobody should give a f*** about what the f*** happened to Denise Richards, because she's doing just fine.